Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Duo Group Iron Man. In the last video, me and my teammate tried out Duo Zammy using the Scorching Bow that I had just recently got, and it was insanely good. We didn't get anything too important, just a spear and a few shards, but the point was mainly to have fun trying out the new bow. To start off this video today, I'm going to be going back to Trouble Brewing, which I haven't really shown in the videos or really even done for probably a couple months now. The reason why I randomly stopped doing Trouble Brewing was because I found out there's a method where if you use two alts, you can make the games 5 minutes long. And I was kind of too lazy to get my main and SpookDog's account together to try out this method. And then they eventually patched the method, and since then I've just been too lazy to go back. But now we're gonna go back and finish Trouble Brewing in this video for sure. Because it's been so long since I've shown it in the progress videos, I'll show you how the game of Trouble Brewing goes. You don't have to have an alt for this. You could go to the official Trouble Brewing world, which is world 304. But it would just make it take a few extra minutes per game, and you'd have to wait longer to get into the initial game because there can only be one game going at a time per world. But we're going to grab 25 buckets, we're going to take them over to the water pump, and your character will automatically fill them up so you can wait for the full inventory. And I have been doing this on my main account, on my alt account as well, so I'm going to do it on here. And once you fill up all the buckets, we're going to run over to the ladder, and you can see I have everything highlighted because when you're doing this for 100+ hours, the less thinking you have to do, the better. And you're going to use the bucket of water on this hopper, and once again, you just wait for your character to empty everything. You used to have to manually click and spam click every single bucket, but now your character does it automatically, which is a bit slower than manually clicking, but even if you wanted to, you can't manually click, your character won't do anything. So you are forced to do it slower now, but it's way less effort. And once you empty all the buckets, run down the ladder, and we're going to fill up the buckets once again with water, and we're going to repeat this process for a total of 4 times. We have to get this bucket count here up to 100, and then you cap out the currency, the pieces of 8 that you can get from doing the bucket method. And one final click here to empty this bucket, and then it'll be at 100 once my character is done with that. So it's 4 minutes of effort, and then you can AFK for the rest of the 16 minutes. And if you're on RuneLite, you're definitely going to want the logout timer plugin, which will make the default logout time, if you're idle, it'll change it from 5 minutes to however long you want it to be. Up to 25 minutes is the cap. So you can quite literally go away from your keyboard for 16 minutes at this point, and you will not be logged out before the game ends. They have done some recent updates to Trouble Brewing where you can now get XP if you properly play the minigame, and I heard it's decent fletching and cooking XP, especially for Ironman, because you don't have to bring it, well, you can't bring in any supplies, so it's like a zero supply method to get decent fletching and cooking XP. There was a poll that recently passed too, minigame changes. We'll go down to, I think it was 2021. Should we adjust Trouble Brewing so that players can gain an extra 10 pieces of 8 per bottle of rum they brew? And that is going to be coming into the game. I've never actually brewed the rum before, but I believe if you do it now, you can get slightly more than 100 pieces of 8 per game. So right now, if you do the rum brewing, it's more so to get the XP, but very soon when the update does hit, not only will you be getting all the extra XP, but it should be a decent amount of extra points per hour, the currency, the pieces of 8 per hour as well. If you're curious about how the 5-minute game method was supposed to work, which I didn't try, but from what I was told how it was supposed to work, you'd have 2 alts, right? So you had one alt go into the red team, and then the account you want the points on, along with one other alt, would go into the blue team. Each of the alts on both sides would go to the exit portal right away and try to leave, and they would get a confirmation message that they want to leave. Both those alt accounts would stay on the confirmation message, while your main account, you're getting the points on, would go do the bucket method, which would take 4 to 5 minutes. And then as soon as you finished getting those 100 buckets, both those alt accounts would leave, the game would end, and you would be awarded the 100 pieces of 8. The game just ended, that's 100 pieces of 8. And you would think it's 20 minutes per game, so that would be 300 pieces of 8 per hour. But if I try to join right now, you'll see it says next game in 3 minutes. So it's actually 100 pieces of 8 per 23 minutes rather than per 20 minutes. So it comes out to less than 300 per hour. If you do wait the 3 minutes between games, 23 minutes would mean that it's 260 pieces of 8 per hour. However, that 3-minute timer is only for right after a game ends, which means if you were to hop to a world where a game didn't just end, I believe the timer is only like 30 seconds to 1 minute that you have to wait to be able to get in. So really it should be like 21 minutes per game instead of 23 if you do want to hop after every game. Although if you are doing it in the mass world, World 304, then you don't have that option to hop, so you're kind of forced to do 23-minute games. And just just to show you to confirm, if we take 1 hour, divide that by 23 minutes per game, multiply by 100 pieces of 8 you get per game, it is in fact 260 pieces of 8 per hour. Which begs the question, how many pieces of 8 do you need total to complete the collection log for Trouble Brewing? If we check out his shop over here, you can see I've got quite a bit saved up. I've spent a lot of time here already, which is why I'm so confident I'll be able to complete this in this video, because I'm pretty close as it is. But you can see the cost of some of these items: 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. And there's so many things in the shop here. How many pieces of 8 total do you need? If we look at the wiki, it's close to 40k, 39,590 pieces of 8. If we go back to the calculator, it's 39,590 divided by 260 pieces of 8 per hour. That is about 152 hours to get everything on the collection log. And unlike other shops like Castle Wars, in this case with Trouble Brewing, it is not possible to sell the items back to the store. Like a lot of shops in the game, you'll get 80% back of your points or currency spent. Castle Wars, you get 100% back. But with Trouble Brewing, you do not get any pieces of 8 back. Well, because you can't sell anything. So once you buy it for good. So you definitely do not want to accidentally press buy 5. But don't you worry, because as soon as I finish Trouble Brewing, Jagex will in fact allow you to sell the things back to the store for 80%, if not 100% of the points back, because that's just how the game works. Jagex always waits for me to finish the thing before they make it easier. But yeah, at this point I've only got 1,600 more pieces of 8 I have to get, so that's only going to be another bit over 6 hours left until I can finish Trouble Brewing. In order to join a game, you cannot have any followers, items in your inventory, or anything equipped in the head slot. So because you can't bring items in, you can't bring items to Alk or Fletch. If you want to gain XP, you'll have to actually do the activities in the minigame. Although you can wear... I'm curious, can you like sneak stuff in if I were to search this for, say, a pestle and mortar? Can I do that? Okay, so there's like, I guess there's ways to sneak things in. I don't know if there'd really be a way to train using your own items, but it is possible. I'm not only going to be doing Trouble Brewing this video because, well, that'd make this a very short video. I also want to get back to doing Konar Slayer. I switched over to doing Durdel / Kurdal Slayer because I wanted to be able to fight a lot of tormented demons and Zami on Slayer task. But now that I have that out of my system, I'm going back to Konar, and here's what the current stack of Brimstone keys is that we're starting off with: 1,341. I think it was also in the last video I hit 2,000 Slayer tasks. I got a little bit beyond that though. I'm currently at 2,022 tasks. I'm gonna have to reset up my block list a bit because I did switch it to try and get Greater Demons from Kurdal, so I'm gonna do that, and then also need to unextend Greater Demons because it's a very low chance that I'm gonna not only roll Greater Demons but also get the Guthix Temple to be able to fight tormented demons. I have now completed 2,025 Slayer tasks, which means I have now completed more tasks than the number of years the Earth has been alive. I can never remember which clues I've already traded into Watson, and I've been meaning to get this plugin for a while. Watson Clue Tracker, let's install that. Tracks which clues Watson has. Oh, a W appeared over the clue, which I think that means, oh, he already has it. I kind of don't want to have that though. I'd rather just type, wait, let's do never. I'd rather just type : Watson whenever I want to see. If I do that right now, we'll say Watson needs, just an easy clue. I was messing around with the plugins because I remembered someone had mentioned the other day that all their stuff from Motherload was being tracked in the loot tracker, which has never been that way for me. So I just checked the plugin now, and you have to check mark. These two weren't check marked, so it was never tracking my Motherload mine loot in the loot tracker, which is kind of sad because since they updated Motherload recently, I've done, I don't know, a couple million mining XP there probably, but at least starting from now at 18.1 mil XP going forward, it will track the Motherload loot in the loot tracker. What? I just logged in and everything's missing. I'm in the farming guild. Where is everything? Bro, wait. What's going on? Oh, Eternal Gem. Yo. Oh my gosh. I'm eating dinner right now. That was the last of the 4 uniques I needed for the superior uniques for the collection log. Oh my gosh, we have to go over here real quick. You know what's crazy is that the imbued heart that I got was also from a gargoyle superior. I'll play the imbued heart clip right now. Oh my god. Oh, imbued heart. Oh, that's so sick. Let's see, I'm at 9.5 million Slayer XP, and we can check the amount of superior KC as well. That is 137 superior creatures. Let's take a look. How many superiors was that? Superior creatures, 502 for the Eternal Gem. And to get that from a Gargoyle Superior is 1 in 520. We gotta look at the collection log too. Let's go down to Slayer. And there is all 4 of the uniques. Another thing to check is the Slayer XP. It was 39, almost 39.8 mil Slayer XP. Oh, that's so cool. I can't believe that finally happened. It's always when you least expect it is when things happen, I swear. You use the Eternal Gem to make a Slayer Ring, but the Eternal Gem, or the Eternal Slayer Ring, has unlimited charges rather than the 8 charges that the Slayer Ring usually comes with. So let's go and make this. It is untradeable, but Spook Dog already had got the Eternal Gem herself a long time ago. Oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of a raid right now, and I just see this in the chat box. So now we're both gonna have Eternal Slayer Rings, and yeah, this has unlimited charges to all these places, which is great because I currently have 3 hard clues on the ground, and I'm gonna have to teleport back to grab each of those. So just in time, they get to save a few charges on here. I'm kind of curious, how many Slayer Rings do I have that I made at some point? I think I only made these once, like very early on in the account. Maybe I'll alch these. They do alch for a little bit. It's probably not even worth alching, probably just incinerate them. And this means I'm saving a bank slot because normally I will perpetually have 2 slots taken up, one by the fully charged 8 charge rings. We're going to destroy those, and the other slot taken up by whatever partially charged ring I have at the time, but both of those are now going to be gone forever and replaced with the Eternal Slayer Ring. Oh, and I have to go into the inventory setups and update this. If you shift right click, update all slots. So every single inventory setup that I have will be replaced with the Eternal Slayer Ring now. And I do have a lot of inventory setups that are going to be changed. When Wild Gothic Sleeps came out, they added 2 new armor sets into the game. They added this, the Dark Squall Robes, along with this, the Elite Black Armor set. But when the quest came out, you weren't able to store those 2 sets in the POH. It wasn't until 2 weeks later they added the ability to store them, and I dropped them after the quest because I don't know, I didn't really think about it. So I'm going to go get those 2 sets and get them stored away in the POH. The first set, the Dark Squall Armor, this one's really easy to get. You can claim it back from a guy somewhere in the castle. You just talk to Silith and tell him you lost the robes, and gives them right back to you. And for the other set, the Elite Black Knight Armor, we're going to go to the Black Knight's Fortress. I think I have to wear this set and I should be able to get in. Yep, and then the monsters, or the Black Knights down here, should be unaggressive to me, as long as I'm wearing the set. If I take off the armor, oh, yep, they aggro onto me, so I want to leave the Squall Armor on until I get to wherever I'm going. There's these Dark Warriors along with the Black Knights. The Dark Warriors do not drop the set, so it's only the Knights that I'm going to want to fight. Although once I switch my gear here, they're all going to aggro onto me. They do use overheads, which is why I brought different combat styles. I'm going to switch between using melee and mage. What you could do is you could bring Chins here and bring Barrage, and then switch back and forth between those 2 styles, and then you could attack a bunch of them at once. But I figure it shouldn't take too long, hopefully, to get this set. When I looked on the wiki, it doesn't say the drop rate, it just says varies for this. It says you are guaranteed to get a piece on each kill, but that's only for the first set. The rarity afterwards, once you get your first set, which I did get that during the quest, it is unknown. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. Well, after just 1 kill, I got 2 pieces of the set already. I didn't think it'd be like that. I thought it'd be, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes. What the heck? According to the wiki, it says they are weaker or weakest to crush, but I mean, I'm already here. I don't feel like leaving. Oh, there's the plate body. Okay, let's make like a banana and split. Before I forget, I want to point out that the Elite Black Knights count as 12 Black Knight kills, and the Dark Warriors count as 6 Black Knight kills, because for the Faldor Elite Diary, you have to get 1,300 kills on them. I don't know if barraging / chinning here would be faster than going to the Taverley Dungeon with the cannon, but could be something worth trying out. This Dark Squall set, I don't think it's good for anything. Looking at the stats, it's like a tiny bit of magic attack and magic defense, and that's it. Then we have the Elite Black Knight Armor. This has the same prayer bonus as Proselyte. It's plus 18. Versus plus 18. The only difference though is the defense bonuses. Proselyte has the same defense bonuses as Addy armor, whereas the Black Knight armor has the same defense bonuses as mithril. You would think it would be black armor, right? But no, it's the defense bonus is a mithril, which is also the same as initiate. They're both mithril defense. If you're in a scenario where you're praying and using overheads, then it doesn't matter which of these armor sets that you bring because they both have the same prayer bonus. But I know sometimes you'll forget to turn on your overhead or you'll accidentally let your prayer run out. And in that case, it might be beneficial to have the proselyte because it has more defense. It is a straight up upgrade over the elite black armor. So because of that, I am going to continue to use the proselyte armor for my AFK slayer or whatever kind of praying that I'm doing. We got that set stored in the POH and that set stored in the POH. And I'll just deal with when I stream getting the daily question of why am I wearing proselyte and if I've ever heard of the elite black knight armor set, which has the same prayer bonus. And yes, I have, and it is worse. I still have that grade redeeming task from last video. Last video was the Zami video, and I just stored that away for later, or for this video specifically, because I wanted to come back and do some combat achievements. So we're going to swap that out and head over there now. I'm going to be starting off with exactly 400 Zami KC. The main combat achievement I'm here to get done is getting 20 KC in one trip in the privately rented instance. The private instance is different from the Iron Man instance. This is the one that requires the hard combat achievements. You have to pay for it each time you want to enter, and even as a group iron, no one else can enter it. So you have to do all the private instance God Wars combat achievements solo. I talked all about this duo method in the previous video, and I explained how it's 5 hits in between specs, and on the 6th hit, that's when you respec. But you could also do 4 hits and refreeze, and the boss will never move. But when you're soloing, you kind of need to get as many hits in as possible, or else you could run out of spec. So in this case, I am doing all 5 hits, and then the 6th hit is going to be the spec. When we were duoing, it was almost always 2 specs for the kill. It was very consistent, but when soloing, there's been a bit more variance. 3 specs for the kill is the most common, but it's also somewhat common for me to have to do 4 specs, and also still common, but a bit less common to get the boss down with only 2 specs. After the boss dies, I use range on the major and then prayer flick between 2 or all 3 of them, depending on their tick cycles. I could freeze the meleeer while I'm taking down the major, but that's not necessary for me because I'm about to heal all the way back up to full anyways once I'm done killing the major. Once the major goes down, I run the meleeer over to the ranger to line them up. I use an ice barrage to get the meleeer frozen, and then I step a tile away so I don't need to flick prayers or worry about off-taking them in the first place. Oh, and that combat achievement I got done from this kill, Demonic Defense, that's to defeat Kirill in the instant without taking any melee hits from him, which really is free. I just didn't have it done before though because this was my first time in the Zami private instance. There's a combat achievement to do a whole Zami kill without taking any hits from any of the minions. And originally I thought maybe I'd be able to get this done passively if I happen to randomly get lucky. But after being 9 kills in at this point, I realized that it would have to be very lucky if I was going to hope to get it passively done, because every kill I take a pretty good number of hits. I guess I don't have the best defense and I'm not prayer flicking. But as I was getting pretty far through this kill, I looked over at my hit points and I was like, wait a second, I'm still at 99. And I started thinking about this combat achievement again. I'm like, oh my god, I could actually do it. And I was just thinking, please, nothing hit me, please. And then I killed the boss and I'm watching the death animation. I'm like, oh my god, this is the longest death animation in my life. And then I got it. I got Demon Whisperer done. And I'm really happy about getting that done because with that one, that means I will now be able to complete all the Zami combat achievements because the rest of the ones should be relatively easy. And there it is, Ash Collector, 20 kills in one trip. And from start to finish, this took me about 37 minutes to get the 20 Zami KC solo. This next one, we're starting right in the middle of the kill because I didn't even decide to go for this combat achievement until right here, right when I started recording. And this one is Demonic Showdown, which is to kill the boss while all the minions are dead. Because I'm ranging, I'm able to hit the minions from pretty much anywhere without actually having to be next to them where the boss could potentially hit me. So I'm trying my best to stay under the boss so that he can't hit me while I'm attacking the minions to whittle each of their health bars as low as possible, but without killing them. Another method you could use is to bring a blowpipe in Serp Helm, and after you kill the boss, hit each minion once to venom them, but then keep them alive during the whole respawn timer of the boss. Don't hit them or anything. And then by the time you're about to get the next kill of the boss, all the minions should be low health all at about the same time, so you can quickly finish the minions and then finish the boss. Also, last thing, I just want to mention that for the whole trip, up until this kill at least for this achievement, I haven't really had to eat any food. I ate once, maybe twice, just to be safe, But I don't really need to have food for solo Zammy with the Scorching Bow. You still want to bring food though, just because you never know what's going to happen. This ended up being a 37 kill trip. It is a lot more focus and attention you have to give when you're doing it solo versus as a duo, but clearly it is very doable and sustainable to do very long trips even as a solo. Granted, I know I do have pretty late game gear slash stats, so there's that too. Good morning, it is a fresh day today, and today I'm going to be doing this combat achievement, the Bane of Demons, which is to defeat Zammy in a private instance only using Demon Bane spells. Before going in, I used the Mark of Darkness spell to make my Demon Bane spells stronger, and I used the Ward of Arceus spell to take 10% less damage from demonic creatures. The Kodai can auto-cast Demon Bane spells, which is nice, and seeing as I'm on task with the Slayer Helm and I have nearly max mage gear, this ended up being no problem at all. So not much to say about this. I mean, if I wanted to, I literally could have just stood there and attacked the boss and been fine too. That was insanely easy. And now if we open up the combat achievements and type in Krill, 9 out of 9, all the combat achievements are completed. That's so satisfying. That's awesome. I was having so much fun at Zammy, I decided to come back here to finish off my task. And also the fact that it's the last Kurdal task I'll be doing for a while since I've gone back to doing Konar Slayer. And Konar doesn't assign Greater Demons in God Wars, so I don't know if next time I'll have the chance to come back here on task. Oh, yes, Staff of the Dead. It's first one for the team and first one for my collection log. I'm so glad I came back here. I have 1 kill left on the task too, or 1 Zammy Casey, because each Zammy Casey counts as 2 Greater Demons for the task because one of the minions is also a Greater Demon. The Staff of Dead is a 1 in 508 drop from Krill, and there's a number of things you could do with this. You could make it into a Staff of Balance, a Staff of Light, a Toxic Staff of the Dead. As for the use cases of it, the main thing that I think would be useful is its special attack, but I don't even know if it'd be that useful for us. The special attack uses 100% spec, and it halves all incoming melee damage as long as you have it equipped for 1 minute. The only thing I could think of where to use that would be for hunting black chins. Yeah, other than that, or just like maybe some other wildy stuff, maybe like using bones at the wildy altar. But we also have dins as well, so I don't know. Editor's note here, one other use for Staff of the Dead is that it can autocast Crumble Undead, which is useful for Vorkath, because I would otherwise use the Slayer Staff to autocast Crumble Undead, but that has plus 12 mage accuracy, whereas Staff of the Dead is plus 17. At Vorkath, I'd be in my melee gear, and I'd have to be careful about making sure when I switch my staff that I'm still above negative 65 mage bonus so that I don't splash. And with the Staff of the Dead, that'll give me a bit more wiggle room for melee gear. I've never grinded out Vorkath before, and it's been so long since I've last done it, so I'm not actually sure if that would allow me to switch out any sacrifices I made before for my gear. I can't believe I didn't bring food for this. Wait, Jagex banned deathmatching, what am I doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, don't kill me, don't kill me! No! No. It's very interesting when the Spinelip dies, because they venomed it, its bones appear in this area, and I could probably pick it up, right? Oh, wow. Berserker ring. Oh, wow, it's second B ring. DK's task done. No pets today. We do a quick price check. Nice, easy little, almost 12 mil trip. No one tells Spook Dog, but when I was downstairs, I ate all the croutons. So when Spook Dog comes out and asks why I have a suspiciously pile of crouton-shaped belly, I'll say I don't know. And you'll all play along with it. Whoa, that, wow. I just hit 40 million Slayer XP. Dang. Went back to check the clips. It's been a bit under 4 months since I hit 30 mil Slayer XP. I'm spreading misinformation. I would never do that. Imagine how Mr. Information would feel. Wow. What a drop. Oh, I was about to make a clip about the seaweed spores about to be under 3,000, but now some seaweed spores spawn, so that's gonna have to be delayed. Dang, I'm being attacked. I guess I'll drop this and then come back. Okay. Dang, I'm being attacked. I guess I'll drop my stuff and come back. Ooh. Ooh, I can still attack him. Having a good time here. Where are all these people coming from? Okay. Alright, back to playing OSRS. Now I'm actually below 3,000 seaweed spores. It's taken a while to get to below 3,000 because I think when I started I was at 3,200, but as I plant them, I get back seaweed spores that spawn a lot of the time. So it's taken a while to get here, but I finally managed to achieve this crazy milestone. Doing a bit more grotesque guardians today, and this one is KC number 1700. Before you know it, it'll be a little blip in the past. Oh, there's a tourmaline core. 1790 KC. How many have I gotten now? It is number 6 on the account. Alright, there's the task done. No way, the last kill of the task. I didn't even notice that for a second. We got granite gloves. Ooh, I was checking the brimstone keys, and at some point, probably 2, 3, 4 tasks ago, I hit 1,400 keys. It is finally done. After 150 hours of playing Trouble Brewing, I now have the amount of pieces of 8 needed to buy everything in the collection log. In fact, I kind of wasn't paying attention, and I accidentally did an extra game, so I have a little bit more than I need to get, but I guess I'll start buying everything in here. I definitely do not want to accidentally click buy 5 or 10 or 50 or something, but we'll go through this, buy one of each, not accidentally buy the same thing twice. Thankfully, you can store all this stuff in the POH, otherwise I don't even know what I would do with all this. Buy more bank space, I guess, because there's 30 items that I am buying here. It's so crazy that you can spend so much time doing something in the game, and then all that buildup that you do for that thing, you have a way to like spend it all in just a minute. Okay, I'm about to fill up my inventory here. Look at this one, 6,000 pieces of 8. Like just this one item alone would take 23 hours of Trouble Brewing. And it's just one tick to buy it. All right, you're gonna buy this thing and my inventory will be filled up. And right now, SpookDog will not see any of these current messages that I'm seeing. But once I close this out, there's gonna be a lot of spam. That's awesome. Okay, I have, was it like 2 more? Wait a second, crap. Wait. The final 2 items, buy some rum, chill. No. Alright. That's funny. It says rum for both, but even though it's 2 separate items. And then when I open up the character summary page, let's take a look at the number of total log slots. 989. Getting very close to the big 1,000. Of course, we got to go over to Trouble Brewing to confirm that it is in fact green logged. 150 hours for 30 log slots comes out to, on average, 5 hours per collection log slot. But if you ignored some of the more expensive ones, like the 6,000 pieces of 8, you definitely bring that average down if you're just trying to go for as many log slots as possible, as fast as possible. But all things considered, 5 hours for a log slot at this point, I mean, very consistent log slots guaranteed, is really not bad, especially when you look at some of the things that I have left, like raids or a lot of the bosses, boss pets. In a way, it's almost kind of sad to be done with this. It was like a constant in my life that I could always come back to and know that I'm consistently working towards something. Well, not really. There's a lot of other things like that in the game, but it's a bittersweet feeling being done with this place forever on the account. And now that I finish this, of course, they're gonna let you sell the items back for like 80% or even 100% of the pieces of 8 back. We'll see how long it takes for them to add that into the game. These 2 rums, they do the exact same thing. They are, oh wait, you can't use it. They give you a teleport to Trouble Brewing. It's a one-time consumable thing, but I don't want to have to store these in the bank because I prefer to save bank space, so let's use the first one. I guess I could just drop it too. But it's not too often you get to see this animation. It's one of those unused items in the game. I was being attacked by the monster, so it's kind of hard to see it, but I think you drink it, then you fall you fall over to the ground. That's good. I got the stuff, which is not storable in the POH. I hope it's tradable so I can just toss it into the group storage and forget about it. Oh, it's not tradable. A long time ago, Spookdog made a batch, or a couple batches of mature green mint ales, and that's really the main use for this stuff, or the stuff, on an Iron Man. So I don't know if we'll ever actually use this because I don't think we're going to accidentally end up drinking 16 green mint ales at any point. Dang, it's kind of crazy though. Once I leave this place, the only time I'll ever be coming back is for when I get clue scrolls, and I'll just be running by and I'll be like, hey, I went to this place before and spent a lot of time here even, but now I'm not going to spend a lot of time there ever again. I'm going to put all this stored away in the POH. I think it all goes into the magic wardrobe. Let's see. Yeah. Or it's faster to do it like this probably. And all the flags as well, they also go into the magic wardrobe. Wait, only... Do I not have this fully upgraded? Hold on. I need to buy a gold leaf and a marble block. I'm pretty sure back in the day you had to take everything out of stuff in the costume room in the POH if you wanted to upgrade it. But thankfully it is no longer like that. So upgrading it to the gilded one, and upgrading it one more time to the marble one. It's kind of weird that you can build a marble magic wardrobe, but the armor case and some of the other stuff is already fully upgraded, but it's not marble. It doesn't match. But there we go. Everything from Trouble Brewing is now stored away in the POH. Scroll down. Here's all the sets. They don't give any stats. It's all just for Fashionscape. There's a few more things I want to go over. I want to see how many points away I am from the Master Tier Combat achievement, which is something I'm kind of slowly, passively working towards. So let's take a look at that because I did a few CAs in this video. I'm now 316 points away. Not a crazy amount of skilling in this video. There's 300k mining XP between Sand and Motherlode Mine. Woodcutting XP that's hardly worth showing, and then the Slayer XP because I did a decent amount of Slayer in this video. I gained 820k Slayer XP, and the Brimstone Keys, as I showed before, it's at 1401. For the next video, I'm going to set a goal of reaching 1000 collection log slots without opening clue scrolls, and I think that'll be fun. If you want to keep me company when I stream, you could check me out at twitch.tv/wild_mudkip, and I'll have my duo GIM teammate Spookdog's most recent GIM video linked below in the description so you can see her half of the progress. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.